Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome on board, and this time another interview. I had the privilege, thanks to Napalm Records, to be talking to one member of the band from Andorra, Persefone. Persefone just released their new and sixth album, studio album, in the name of Metanoia under Napalm Record this past February the 4th, and this album just blew my mind away. I decided to get in touch with the band. And in this interview, I have the privilege and the pleasure, the huge pleasure, to be talking to Carlos, who plays the guitar in Persefone. Persefone, is let's say, a progressive melodic death metal band from Andorra, and their album is huge. And I'm gonna talk here to Carlos about the band in general and more deeply into their new album, Metanoia. Enjoy. Carlos, hi, welcome on board. How are you?
Hello, I'm very happy to be here with you, and I'm hoping to have a beautiful conversation with you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you to be there. Thank you to be there, and thank you to you and to Napalm Records to have making this possible. So glad for you to be there, and we're gonna start a little bit. My questions are gonna be more focused on your latest album, of course, which blew my mind away. For the ones who follow my channel, you know that I talked to you about already in my two previous videos about this album, so my love for this album. But first, I'm gonna ask you a few questions about your band, about your formation, because Persefone, I don't know how we say in English. In French, we say Persephone, but I don't know if you say Persefone, Persephone. How do you say it in English?
Here we say like in a Spanish way, like Persefone. But everywhere is like Persephone, and of course in French it's Persefone.
Persephone. Yeah,
so everything is okay, whatever,
Okay, so we're gonna say Persefone. So Persefone in the Greek mythology is daughter of Zeus, and also the spouse of Hades, my favorite god, of them all. So first basic question: why Persefone?
Why the name? We are an old band at this point, so this story, goes back like near to 20 years ago. We were young. I had hair. We had this band we wanted to do, and at the beginning, we had another name. We had another name when we started the project. We even had the first album with the other band's name prepared, but at some point we found out that there were another band with the same name. So we freaked out a little bit, and we started trying to find a name. And trying to find a name is a horrible thing to do, because you feel like all the good names are taken, from other bands. Everything you came up with is so cringy and so lame. It's like, oh my God. So we spent a lot of time, these moments, all the one together, like young people trying to came up with some name. It was so hard and so bad. So I remember at some point, I was watching The Simpsons, the show. There was this chapter where they mentioned Persephone, goddess of the underworld, and I was like, that sounds like pretty heavy to me. So I went and I did some research, and I saw that it was a good story. So I went to the band. What do you think about Persephone as a band name? They were so sick about the name thing, so they were like, okay, go with this. So we started the first album with that name, and then the second album we went deep into the name, and we did all this, like the whole history of the name and everything. But it was a little bit of a, something that made sense back then. With the time, for me, the band's name is more than a name. It's like my life, So I've been playing here forever, and that name has another meaning to me, not just the official meaning. So it's good that people is digging it, but yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big deal for us.
Oh yeah, we dig it, guys. We dig it, really. And we dig the music more, because it's absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. So the sixth studio album, Metanoia, has been out it was last week, if I remember right. Oh yeah, February the 11th. The fourth, two
2 weeks
weeks
now.
already. It's
Yeah,
been 2 weeks already. Yeah.
it's an old record right now, in this
It's a not record, but it's gonna spin, man. It's gonna spin all year long. I can tell you that. So Metanoia is the title of your new album that was released this month, the 4th of February. Can you tell us maybe a quick description of the meaning of this word, metanoia? Why?
Sure.
Why is yeah.
Well, we like to work through concept albums. We've been doing that forever, and especially lately, and also with a pretty, let's say, spiritual kind of topic on most of them, especially on the last three. So when we found about metanoia, we wanted to do this concept album, and we found this word, this concept metanoia. We thought it was pertinent in our lives at this point, and with the message we wanted to put out with the album. And metanoia, the word means a call for a deep change, within a person, within a human being, through a painful process, like willingly going through a painful process to let get back, let out everything that doesn't serve you as a human being, and then have more space to relearn other stuff and come up like a fresh. It's like a phoenix kind of situation, and there's or the platoon, like the cave myth is something like that. So yeah, it goes that way.
Okay, so my next question, because when I love such an album, I try to understand the relation in the lyrics, the way it's constructed, between the first and the last track on the album, and I also like to analyze, the artwork of the album, if there is like a connection between the artwork and the music that is played actually on the album. And my theory, as humble as I am, at my level, my theory, after having listened to your album 4 or 5 times, I get always to the same conclusion. For me, just tell me if I'm wrong here, but it's my idea, it's my theory about this album. Metanoia is also represented in your songs, the way the album is constructed, because there's really an evolution between the tracks. Hi there, hi Cathy, hi. And we have a special guest from Persefone here tonight. Mr. Cat is there with us, and he plays the drums.
Yeah, better than our drummer.
Very well. No, so it's my personal interpretation of the thing. When I look at the artwork of the album, you have this in the front on the first layer of the cover, you have this cave. You actually have a cave that represents maybe the darkness, Yeah. And on the opposite side, you have this ray of light that is standing up there. And to me, when I look to the artwork and when I take the meaning of the album Metanoia, and when I listen to the tracks, I see there's a connection moving from darkness, to dark thoughts or dark thinking or dark life or whatever. And trying to escape this darkness and going to in direction of this ray of light, maybe to go up and go out of darkness to maybe find a new life, a new meaning there. And that's my personal interpretation. Maybe I'm totally wrong about it. You can tell it, there's no problem. And so am I right, or am I completely wrong with that? And
no.
Is it? Yeah.
You are spot on. I have to say, there's that everything goes connected. The cover art and the songs and the way we structure the songs, we wanted to go kind of that direction. It was all about the cave, even the sounds in the album, when the album starts with these cave sounds, it's like we try to represent this journey of one human being going, down this cave and representing kind of a personal hell, let's say, and then going through this darkness, and we paid a lot of attention to the element of fire as well. We like the idea of fire within the lyrics, like in the beginning, like "Let me dance amid the flames," all that stuff, like this kind of idea of going through all that process, and then at the end of the album, with the anabasis going out, and then in the last song you can see that there are some, let's say, sounds like outside sounds, at the very end of the record, like you are out of the process. So we wanted to connect all the lyrics with the music, with the structure of the songs, and the order of the songs, and the artwork and everything, to create this experience for the people that want to go through that, because in 2022 concept albums maybe are not the smartest things to do. I will say the same, like people go with 1-2 songs and that's it, but we really like to do it this way, so because it's the artistic vision we have.
Exactly. And personally, I love concept albums, because they make you think more about the music, the way it's constructed. It makes me really, when you pay attention to the music and you really like to discover and know what is behind, you like to know these details, and dig a little further, in the construction of the album. And that's my case personally, and I love it. And do we find as well so I was right.
Yeah, sure.
Because I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was wondering, is it me? Is it me who was giving maybe too much passion about it and too much, theories or whatever? But I'm sure there's something like that, because this big ray of light outside of a cave, that must mean something,
Yes.
But we can also find it in the way the album is constructed itself. I have the impression that there are many more growls and many more harsh moments on the album, on the first part, on songs like Merkaba, for example. There's these harsh vocals, really close to being, to me, maybe I'm wrong, but close to being deathcore voice, because it's really shouty, it's really strident, and sometimes I say, well, we are getting really close to deathcore, there, but then it stops, it holds you back, and the clear vocals are there, to counterbalance this harshness, of these vocals there. And it happens quite a lot on the first of the album, but after the album, when you move on, in the tracks, it's my impression that it's becoming more atmospheric, melodic, instrumental as well from time to time. And I have the impression that you're leaving the darkness behind you and going more to some clarity, to some purity, and to some light, the more you move on in the album. Am I right?
Yes. We spend some time trying to look for that balance, because when we write the music, we think on everything, vocals or drums or whatever, as different, like colors in the painting. We want to use them in a way that it adds to the album some meaning. So I think that the key part in the album is in the song Merkaba. I think it's like the half, of the album, that leap of faith Merkaba thing. And then after that, even the concept was, like trying to tell us how to go, with this like more pure and clear mind state. So that, of course, had an impact on the writing and on the structure of the album. I mean, we really put a lot of thought when it comes to these kind of things, but you never know if you will be able to explain to the listener just with the music. But we definitely pay attention to try to make the album as let's say close to the idea we have as possible.
And to me, it's really clear. It's really clear. The more you listen to it, it's a journey. From beginning to end, it's a pure journey. It's the way it's constructed, but also each track. For example, Merkaba, especially. You have this always these mountains. You go high, you go down, you go up, you go down, and the clear vocals, the harsh vocals, some melodies. The way it's constructed is really progressive. So that's why you describe your music as progressive melodic death metal, because it stays it remains melodic death metal, but with a big progressive direction there, because well, you have the keyboard that is omnipresent as well on the album, which is absolutely fantastic. But to me, honestly, if I have to really to give high fives on these albums. I really pay respect to everyone in the band. Everyone is doing a great job. But the guitars, man, the guitars, the how do you do that with only your fingers, man? How many fingers do you have? How many hands do you have? I mean, it's as I said, with the voice that sometimes is so pushed really hard that you have the impression that you are listening to deathcore sometimes, But we can say the same with the guitars. Sometimes we have the impression when it's really focused on the guitars, you have the impression to be listening to technical death metal because it's so technical, it's crazy, But it stays death metal, melodic death metal, progressive, and it's so huge the way it's constructed within only one track. It's a pure journey in 6 minutes of a track. Can you imagine all the album all along from beginning to end? It's absolutely fantastic. You are great musicians, man. You are so talented, and I will never say it enough. It's crazy. This album, this band is crazy.
I mean, we definitely don't have that perception on ourselves or the skills we have, because we don't feel like we are like really high level skilled musicians, because we have the internet, we can see like many people doing crazy things, but we have some skills, and we try to work on them all the time by writing music and studying music and practicing the instrument, and we just try to put the skills to the service of the music we want to create. At some parts it goes a little bit crazy, at some points it goes a little bit more ambiental, or more heavy or whatever. So we just try to find what the song needs, and then try to push ourselves to make the very best performance we can do with the instrument. If for example the guitar needs to have some highlight, then I will definitely try to impress my friends, my bandmates with something, because it's very difficult. It's been a long time playing together, but you try to come up with new ideas and new concepts and skills, and they do the same. But definitely within the band, we don't have this perception of being like this kind of like really skilled musicians at all. If I have to be honest.
Wow, you're being really modest, man.
But it's the way it is. I mean, we are here in Andorra alone. We are just friends. We just meet each other. We have been playing together for a long time, and we are used to see us play. And we know that music, like metal music especially, has many talented musicians, like top elite. And yeah, we don't feel we are that at that point. We like to see ourselves just like friends. We play music. We try to do our best with the way we do. And if our level is like this, then we will play like this, and don't think too much about it.
That's nice. But I can't imagine, when some of you guys are watching your video on YouTube, your video of Kaba, for example. What do you? I mean, you're watching it and you say, God, this is us, man. I don't know what feelings must travel in your head, in your mind when you watch that and say, this is actually us. We rock, man. It's crazy. I mean, how can't you? There's no word I can describe. But
myself, I have a hard time listening to my own music, because I keep listening to all the mistakes we are doing all the time. Because you do the best you can, and then you start thinking, that part maybe is too short, that part maybe is too long, because you are never happy with your performance. I can see my
perfectionist.
A little bit, but perfection is like a lie, because you will never get there, because look, what is perfect today will not be perfect tomorrow, so it doesn't make sense. But even with that, we try. So when I don't know, if I see a video clip by us, what I think, I have memories of that day, with the friends, like it was very cold, it was very fun, and I remember the joke that the bass player said, and those kinds of things. Regarding the music, we feel really insecure about it. So most of the time, like every musician, you do the music, you never know how people will react to the stuff you're doing. You think it's cool. I always say the same in the interviews, especially if there are other musicians there. One day you do a part or a section and you feel like it's a completely amazing and very, very cool. And then the next day you listen to it, you feel it's like the worst thing ever written. And then, like it's very complicated to have a objective perception of the stuff you do. So when I listen to the listen to the let's say a video or the songs, I don't know. I just feel I have memories, from the studio, my friends, the moments we share together. It's like a picture of our lives, when I see something like that.
So you, and you have been signed now under Napalm Record. It's your
Yes.
first record with Napalm.
Mm.
So can you share maybe with us how did it happen and what's the main differences being now under such a huge label that is Napalm? What is
Yes.
the main difference?
Yeah, it is a big difference. We've been through independent labels, through the years, and lately with the Spiritual Migration and Atma, the last two albums we did before Napalm, we were working with a company called Beats Solum Records from Sweden with this guy called Thomas. He was working very hard to help us, to put the band in another place. But he was just one person, He was doing everything himself, like doing all the work. Now with Napalm, we can feel there's a team behind. Like they're doing every week, they have this schedule with the interviews, and they have a calendar of what to do to promote the album. And they gave us a lot of freedom, all the artistic freedom. They were like happy with everything we were came up with about music. So far, it's a huge improvement when it comes to the chance to meet new fans or make the music available for people that never listened to the band before, and we are feeling it like people like you. Many people, is like the first album they listen by Persefone, and that's something very, very good for us in terms of growing, because then Napalm, they are doing all the best efforts to put the music outside for the people to see, listen. But then it depends on the music, If the people like it, beautiful, let's continue this way. If they don't like it, it's also okay. So, but they are doing an amazing job. We are really grateful with them.
Oh, that's great. I'm so happy for you, man. And so you're saying that you kept as much as freedom as you had before with your creativity, the compositions, and you have like absolute white card as you had before. It didn't change anything regarding your freedom, your composing freedom, nothing.
Nothing. They just wanted to listen to one song before, So we usually do the music and then the lyrics, and then have and then the solos, and we never have one song like completely written at any point. But with this one, we did catabasis because we wanted to see a little bit the direction we were heading to. We did this kind of demo for them, like a mixed one with everything, and they were like, "This sounds very good. Keep it up." And that was the last time we had any other input. And then we did the album, we sent to them. They were like, "This album is very cool. It's very kick-ass. Which one do you want to be the single? Like all the freedom, do everything you want." And then if at some point they are very experience, so they give some advice. Let's try to do this, let's try to do that. But other than that, yeah, we are very happy with the new label.
What appealed
Thank
me
you.
as well, I'm a huge fan of Mr. Einar Zolberg
Oh yeah,
from Leprous,
Lepros.
and I have to ask this question. I would like to know how did it happen to have Mr. Zolberg on the intro track of the album, because his voice is getting really along with the voices of your vocalists in Persefone. We can feel that they are on the same range. Especially the clear vocals, of course. But I already read some critics on internet saying that if Leprous was playing really heavier music, that would sound like Persephone's new album. And I really agree on that. I remember Leprous on their previous albums when they were playing like in New York. When they released this concert in New York. That was absolutely really, really loud, really heavy. With Ishan being there as
Yeah.
well as a
Yes.
guest. That was for me the best period of Leprous. And I say if Leprous were keeping, playing heavier music, metal music, like they used to, they were gonna sound like Persephone on your new album. We can feel there's a connection between the two. So can you maybe explain to us how did it happen with this collaboration with Einar? If I may ask, I don't know if you can disclose
Sure.
any information about
No,
that,
no,
but
no, no, no. It's very, very, yeah, of course. But the fact is that we had this album called Spiritual Migration from 2013, and we had the chance to tour with Lepros in Europe with the album. They were touring with Bilateral, which is my personal favorite album by them.
it's my favorite too, man.
So we met them there, and we had a pretty good, relationship. I became friends with Einstein, which was the guitar player back then, and we are still friends nowadays. So since then, we had this idea of collaborating with Einar at some point, but it didn't happen. In the Asthma album, we had Paul Masvidal, so we didn't want to have any people like fighting with the spotlight. And then with Metanoia, it was like a wish list for us, so we just contact him. It was like, hey dude, how are you doing? You want to do this with us? And he was open to do that. We sent to him the track with some like a little guide, from our vocalist, and then he did whatever he wanted to, and it was completely amazing, first take, and that's the intro of the album. So that was a beautiful thing to have him, after all these years, you waiting for the right moment. So yes, it was a pretty all the guest musicians that are on the album. They are kind of friends with us. We have like personal relationships with them. So it's we are really happy, to be able to have like contact with such talented people to add to the album.
Yeah, of course. That must be impressive, man. That must be impressive. So you are still in contact with Einar. It's still you're still talking to each other once in a while, or
Yeah, not in a regular basis, but yeah, we sometimes, if they are coming, near here, we can go there, and then we have some, let's say, contact with Thor, the guitar player also, and Einar. They are the only members, that were in the bilateral, and they remain. So yeah, it's been a while since we see each other. But yeah, I remember in Barcelona, we went some point, we talked with them, and I don't know, we are not like super friends, but definitely we have a good relationship, and he was like kind enough to collaborate with us in the album. So yeah.
that's cool. That's cool. Offline, can you send him my regards, please?
Sure. I mean, yeah, I will think on that. I don't know when I will see him or talk to him anytime soon. But yeah, sure. I mean, he's a yeah, very talented guy, and
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we learn a lot from them when we tour together, and yeah, very very cool guy. And he has, to me, like the best voice, nowadays when it comes to this kind of music. But then he's like so insecure with his voice as well. He's like, I don't know, but yeah, he's like a great, great, great singer. So yeah, definitely. If I have contact with him anytime soon, I will say hi from you. Yeah.
Thanks, man. So he knows that I exist.
Sure. He's very humble people,
what,
very
what,
humble person.
yeah, he seems so. He seems so because yeah. I follow him on Instagram everywhere, and apparently he's giving also singing lessons, to people online. So
Yes.
he seems really like very approachable. But I tried to send him a message, but I never get an answer anyway. But
I
maybe
can
one day.
imagine he has like thousands of messages,
And as I was saying, all the album is rich. Each track is totally rich. The album in its entirety. You can't imagine if you didn't discover this album yet, guys. Go ahead. What are you waiting for? I'm telling you, this album is gonna sit really high in my end of the year ranking, and most probably on many end of the year rankings on the internet, on YouTube or whatever. I'm sure about that. And the richness, the richness of each track, it's absolutely fantastic. It's a trip. You never know what can happen to you in the next second, in the coming 10 seconds. You never know what can happen. It's absolutely crazy. It's like, roller coasters all the
Yeah.
time. And you have nice surprises because then after some brutality on the track, you get like an instrumental track, really, really mellow, really atmospheric, and then you say, oh, that's weird, I did not expect that. And it's really, really refreshing, all the time because you never know what you can expect, and that's what I love about the composition of an album. Regarding the composition, going back to the technicity now that you have, the technique that you have with your instruments, guitars, drums, everything. I showed you a clip to a friend this week because a friend that is not metalhead, and I showed, I'm going to interview a guy from this band. I'm going to show you, tell me what you think. And he said, well, I have to confess, I'm not a metalhead, but wow, they are good, man. They are good. So even non-metalheads are saying, wow, how do they do that? How can they play like that? And then he asked me a question, which I couldn't answer. So I told him, I'm going to ask it to you directly.
Okay, let's go.
With such, let's say, for example, Merkaba, it's so rich, the way it's constructed, the way you play with the instrument, the way it moves from a corner to another direction, a totally other direction. How do you play it on stage? Meaning, like, is it really, can you reproduce the exact same construction of such a track from a concert to another concert the next day or the next week? Is it going to be like really the copy, the perfect copy of what we hear on the album? Or are you making some arrangement from time to time? Are you changing some stuff? Because he said, yeah, how can they reproduce the exact same copy from a day to another? It's impossible because it's so technique, so rich. Can you maybe tell us more about that? How do you do?
Sure. I mean, we try to reproduce the notes like the best we can every night. When we are on tour, we play live, we play with a click track. We have a metronome in the ear all the time, like bugging us to be able to play in time. And then there's no room for improvisation on the live shows. We play the notes as they are meant to be played, So we try to reproduce as perfect as we can everything that happens in the album. Not every night is the best night, Sometimes mistakes will appear here and there, but we definitely try. The philosophy behind is that we want to put the same music in front of the audience, but with this extra, strength that the live music can offer. So yeah, when you're on tour, when you have like 3, 4, 5 dates playing the same set list, it is pretty mechanical. So you can just try to play it as perfect as possible. But yeah, it's all about repetition, and we definitely try to do it as perfect as we can. And if someone changed like slightly something, then everyone's like, oh, what happened? What happened? That's not meant to be. Don't do that anymore. So I know there's bands they can work a little bit with the songs and stuff like that, but we don't like that much. For example, on Mirkava, we had an idea for the live situation within the song because we will play it live, hopefully very soon, and we are working on that for the live version of the song. But then once it's done, that will be forever. We won't do anything the night of the show. Like the night of the show, we will reproduce the stuff we're working with. So yeah, it's kind of a pretty calculated kind of approach.
Can you imagine, guys, the number of hours of work to be able to play that, and to reproduce the exact same thing, the exact same note after note, again and again and again, depending on your mood, on the way you feel in your mind, the way you feel physically. Can you imagine that? So respect to these kind of bands, that we're gonna see hopefully soon on stage and be there, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait to be there and see you live, and hearing these notes, really live, in
Very
front
loud.
of the stage, and that must feel really great, man. That must feel really great. So that answers my biggest question I had, because I was really curious about that as well, and thanks again to my friend Guillaume, for asking this question, because it was really a nice one, and now we get the answer. But wow, you're great, man. Can you imagine how do we say that? The knowledge, the skills of the band, to be able to reproduce that. It's crazy. It's crazy. I hope that you guys enjoy this interview. It's not done yet, because I have a question. My following question is going to be like on the video that was recording in this cave. I heard that it was maybe in the Pyrenean mountains in France, maybe. Yes. I read something about that. How did you find this location? Was it a location that you guys knew before, or how did you find it?
I mean, we work with a company here in Andorra. They are friends of us, like pretty close friends. And then we talked with them about the concept of the video and the concept of the album. And they were like, okay, we know this place, in France. So they suggest to go there to shoot some, scenes with this monk, going within all the caves and all that places. And then have the band playing, in the top of the mountain we have here in Andorra. So we just were when we played the instruments, the part of the cave. The band wasn't there at all. They took all the work. They told us, hey, we'll go there like next week, and then they showed the shoot to us, and we were happy with it. And yeah, all the credit goes to them.
No, but it's beautiful when we see this monk, walking in the cave. It's really, really beautiful. And then you see the band playing on top of the mountain,
Yes.
And with these harsh vocals, and combining with the clear vocals and giving these symphonies with your progressive sound. It's absolutely fantastic. I really love it. I really
very much
love it. It's great. So great album. Each track is great. None of the track is bad on this album. The artwork is great. The musicianship is great. You can feel, that all these guys here are really close one to each other, and that helps, for the chemistry within the band, and. Everything is perfect on this album. I don't know what you're waiting for. Stop watching this video and go listen to the album, please. No, I'm kidding. Just stay here. I still have a couple of questions that now it's much gonna be focused on the future of Persefone, and more especially to tours. I know that the situation is still a little bit difficult. We're getting there. It's soon gonna be over, all this shit. But do you have maybe already dates and tours and something planned for the future months? And if so, are you do you plan to come to Belgium or Luxembourg? Maybe. Can I ask? Can you disclose some information?
Yeah, I mean, we had this tour with Obscura, the technical death metal band, for December in Europe. It was postponed because of the pandemic. And it will take place in October of this year, of the year, and it will be in Europe. But I can tell you that I don't remember the exact places, where we are playing. So probably we'll play it near you at some point because it's a pretty long tour. So we have that as the only tour prepared, and we have some offers to go to other places like US. We want to go back to Japan again. They want us again, and we will try to tour as much as we can. But we don't live out of the band, and we have like our jobs and families, and we need to be very careful and wise with the tours we can do and tours we cannot do. And at some point we want to do a headlining tour as well, to promote the album properly in Europe. So yeah, there are many plans, but no one really knows because the situation really doesn't help that much. But so far we have this tour in October with Obscura. That will be very cool. I mean, I like the band a lot, and there will be many notes every night, I think.
And you know already how much time you're gonna play during this tour?
To remember, but I think it was something like 40 minutes, something like that. Yeah, we said it's direct support, so we have plenty of time there. I mean, it's not our show, like we cannot do like the big one, but we will definitely have time to play some songs for the public and try to make the night nice for everyone.
And so I guess you're going to promote the new album and play a couple of tracks from the Metal Noia as well? Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I won't ask which track, I don't want to spoil it anyway. Maybe I cannot have the information anyway, so...
better to have the surprise, I think.
Yeah. I'm going to end up now with a tradition here in my interviews. I always ask this question at the end of my videos. It has become a tradition now. And I'm going to ask you the following question. So it's more really personally oriented to you. Well, it's actually two questions.
Right.
First off, what band, if you can name only one band, who gave you, the envy to play metal? That's going to be my first question. Only one. Don't cheat. Only one.
Okay.
And second, if you could choose one band with whom you could tour the world together, who would it be as well? It's a tradition. It's maybe a sick question, a bullshit question, but I like to ask it, and I like to know.
I like these things.
To have like a more personal interaction. Yeah.
The first question was the band that put me into metal.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's just one. It's difficult. There are three there, like they're important, but let's say probably Metallica was my first thing. Probably.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But then I feel bad for Megadeth because it's like my other one. So both of them, I said the two.
You cheat. You say two names.
But it's kind of the same, They play the both.
True.
And then one band to tour with, I think that will be Symphony X to me.
Oh yeah.
I think Symphony X.
I love them.
Definitely Symphony X.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I love what they do as well. What they did. I don't know if they're gonna come back. I don't know. Did they split? I don't even know if they split or they're. But yeah, it's great music, man. The Odyssey and
Five and Divine Winds and Twilight in Olympus is my
Divine
favorite.
Wings of Tragedy. I think this one is my favorite, my personal favorite. The Divine Wings
Yes,
of Tragedy.
it's amazing. Yeah,
The bass
that
on
would,
this.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
Thomas
yeah,
Miller. Yeah, that
really.
would be the band.
Okay, great, great, great. Um, I think I have asked everything that I wanted to ask you. So
Great.
it has been really smooth. I love the way you answered the question. It was really great.
Thank you.
And, so rich answers, as the music that you perform, it's so rich.
Thank
We
you.
stay in the richness, because again, we are in presence here of divinity, guys. This is Carlos from Persefone. So, yeah,
Wonderful.
Your Highness, it has been a pleasure to be talking to you, man. And it's absolutely fantastic. So, Metanoia is the sixth studio album from this band from Andorra. Oh,
Yes.
sorry, I did not even talk about Andorra. Can you imagine such a small state and this band emerged from that state? So just to say that you can find amazing bands all over the world, whatever the country is, if it's a small or big country, you see here the proof, Andorra, I think you are the first band of Andorra that I know now. Again, I've known you too late, but I'm gonna repair that, as promised, I'm gonna enjoy the previous albums, but still here, I'm waiting for the vinyl. I hope it
Ah,
will be there soon because I'm
hopefully.
kind of a vinyl nerd, so
Okay, cool.
definitely I'm waiting for it, to spin it on my turntable. And believe me, it's gonna spin and spin and spin again and again and again. And by the end of the year, I'm sure that your album will sit really, really high in the ranking, and maybe album of the year. As I said last year in 2021, my album of the year was
Let's
out
see.
in February. So maybe the story will repeat itself, and maybe album of the year will be Persephone with
Let's
Metanoia.
see.
And it's gonna be really difficult to put you out of this first place, because for the
I
moment
don't
you
know.
are the first place.
Hopefully there will be many great albums coming out, and we can all enjoy them and have a good musical year.
Of course we will. Of course we will. It's been 3 years. These past 3 years has been totally crazy, But
Yeah.
um, your album had an effect on me like a bomb. It was really like a huge slap in my face. All along. You say, what? Why did I know this band before? And it's crazy. And the feeling I had, when I sent you a message on Facebook, let's try. We never know. And when I don't know if it was you or something or someone else
No,
once.
I don't use the Facebook thing. I think it's Bobby. I think it's Bobby,
Okay,
the
okay. And
drummer.
I say, wow, he actually
No, I
replied.
mean we are pretty reachable ourselves, It's very easy to reach to us, and if we have the time, we are happy to talk with whatever person. So no, it's not like, I mean, it's about if we have the time, but very easy to talk with us.
Yeah, the proof is there, and
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. So thanks a lot, Carlos, for according me, affording me this time together for the channel. Thank you as well to Napalm Records who, scheduled this meeting, and made it possible as well. And guys, Persephone, don't miss that band. Don't miss this album. Metanoia, you will hear it a lot during the year. I promise. I can guarantee you that. Support the band. I will put in the description of the video, the links to their Facebook page, to their official website, and support the band because they're really doing a great work. And that's it for me, man. So I hope that next time I will be seeing you. I hope it will be on stage, and if so, maybe if you can grab a beer together, that would be even better. We never
Nice. I,
know.
I don't drink myself alcohol, but I would love to have hang out with you and the guys in the band and say hi and give you a hug and see you in person.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. I keep that in mind.
Perfect.
Okay, that's it, folks. So I leave you the final word, maybe, and we're gonna leave each other for until next time.
Nice. I would say good luck with your channel. You're doing great. It's been a beautiful time for me to be here with you. Very beautiful questions, and I really hope you can grow as well and spend as much time as you can doing the things that you like. So thank you for the
Appreciate it.
professionalism and hopefully see you very soon.
See you, man. Thanks a lot, man. Really go straight there, and love, long live our passion for metal music because it's really why we're here for. And yeah, long live our passion for great bands. So Carlos, see you, man, and hopefully
Until
we'll
next time.
see each other next time. Thanks a lot, man.
Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
On my knees, I still believe this cruel metamorphosis, a pure reborn being. This cruel metamorphosis, pure reborn. still